welcome back to the channel. This one's for the car lovers, the clean freaks, the dog lovers and anyone who enjoys a good deep clean and detail. Today we have a triple threat of deep cleans on 2 vans and a gorgeous RS7 for Yorkshire Canine Academy. Pet hair removal, steam cleaning, engine bay detailing, we've got it all coming up in this video. Usually in my videos we do the details start to finish, however in this one I'm going to be showing you the individual elements of the details across 3 vehicles. I'm going to be mixing and matching. Here we're going to be starting on the door card. You see me using the scrub pad here with the all-purpose cleaner just to get deep down into the plastics, followed by a good old-fashioned steam clean into those crevices to really pull all of that dirt out. Starting off here without any heads on the steamer, we're blowing out all of the little crevices, the hard to reach areas that we might not be able to get into with the scrub pad or a brush. Then I'm going to swap over to the brush head on the steamer so that we can get even deeper into those plastics. The plastics on these Transit Customs have a little bit of a rough texture to them, and the steamer brush head just allows us to get a little bit deeper down into that funny texture. It's almost bobbly, if you will. And yeah, the brush head does a really good job of getting further into those plastics, getting into the nooks and crannies and drawing out all the dirt. After this, we're going to go and give the door card a final wipe down with a microfiber cloth and a little bit of all-purpose again, and then we'll show you some 50/50s. Moving on to the footwells now, you can see the hoover for the first time here. We're going to do what I like to call the base hoover, just removing any loose debris on the surface before we go ahead and actually do the deep clean on the plastics and the pedals and whatnot. Having completely laddered all this plastic down with the all-purpose cleaner again, I'm now using a drill with a brush attachment on the end of it, which does a much better job of getting into that plastic and cleaning the plastic rather than using your hand and a brush manually, whilst also saving time and also saving your forearms from getting completely destroyed. Having soaked and loosened all the dirt in the texture of the plastic, we're now having it off like Davidoff with a steamer in this footwell, making sure we hit all the pedals, all the crevices on those pedals, going over all the areas in the footwell where we've managed to loosen all of that dirt. As you can see, the colour of the fluid on the floor is not very nice. After this, we're going to go ahead and remove some of that standing water with a microfiber cloth, which as you can see isn't very clean anymore. Then we're going to go ahead and run the scrub pad and some all-purpose cleaner over the plastic again, just to get a little bit further into the texture of this plastic. Annoyingly, also my gimbal decided to die shortly, so I'm not able to show you the before and after of this one. At this point, you're probably sick and tired of seeing me clean plastic, so I'm going to move on now to the mats. This is from one of the other vans that I was working on. We're blasting the granny out of these mats with the Tornador attachment on the compressor. As you can see, we're literally pulling an absolute ton of dust and dirt out of these mats. This is essential before actually getting on with the drill brush, the steamer and the hoover and whatnot. As you can imagine, it's probably quite difficult to get these things clean without doing this step. We're now going to attack these mats with a fresh interior cleaning spray, followed by the drill brush. We're going to blow them off again, give them a steam, give them a hoover, and then we'll stripe them up ready to go back into the vehicle. If you're enjoying the video, I'd massively appreciate a comment and like on the video to say you're enjoying it, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss anything coming forward. We've got plenty of exciting stuff coming up in the future, including a couple of supercars, as well as some challenges with some complete novices to the detailing world. Just showing you some of these plastic rubber mats now as well. We've given them a thorough pressure wash off with a jet wash. That's the first thing we were going to do because they were completely and utterly caked in a load of dried on dirt. Now we're going in and getting into this with a steamer, getting into all those nooks and crannies with it, blasting the absolute smithereens out of it with that brush head. Having scrubbed all that dirt away, we're going to blast these off with a jet wash quickly again, ladder them all down with the all-purpose, and then we're going to get back into it with a scrub pad, get further into those nooks and crannies, pick up any areas we might have missed with that steamer brush, and then after this we'll give them a final rinse off and they'll be complete. fun fact for you: if your steering wheel, levers, plastics, etc. are all shiny, it means they're completely covered in dirt, oils, moisturiser, makeup and stuff like that from your hands. It should be nice and flat, nice and matte, like you see the dashboard is in this example. Here you can see me steam cleaning this steering wheel. If it ain't been steamed, it ain't clean. A lot of these quick car washes, or scratch and shines as us detailers like to call them, will simply be wiping these items over with either a damp cloth or cleaning them, as they say, with some sort of silicone-based cleaner, which actually just leaves them shiny. And contrary to belief, people actually think this is clean when in fact it's not. This is the before. I want you to pay attention to the top of the steering wheel and how glossy that is in comparison to this, the finished product, which is a nice matte finish to it. This is how it should be. Cracking on now with this gorgeous black Audi RS7. We're going to be going straight away here with the snow foam and the citrus pre-wash mixed up in a snow foam bottle. I'm laddering the car down with it here, and the idea of this is that it will dwell on the surfaces for a minute or so. Obviously less if it's in the sunshine. Make sure you don't leave this product to dry out, it's going to cause you all sorts of issues. Now that the snow foam's been left on there to dwell for a minute or so, I'm going to pressure rinse all of this off inch by inch, making sure I thoroughly rinse this vehicle off. And what we're doing here is we're removing 90 to 95% or as much of the dirt off this vehicle as we possibly can, because the snow foam and the citrus has loosened it up, ready for us to absolutely blast the granny out of it. This forms just one of many parts of how to safe wash a vehicle correctly. Doing it with the correct methods meaning you're going to be safely washing the vehicle, not inflicting any damage or scratches like the scratch and shines, all of which I'll be showing in an up and coming video I'll be uploading to the channel shortly, how to safe wash a vehicle. So subscribe if you want to see that video. Now that pre-wash is out the way, we're going to crack on with these alloys first before we come to contact wash the paint. I'm just laddering these alloys, the back of the barrels and the front facings, down with Incinerate wheel cleaner, making sure we also cover the tyres. We'll leave that to dwell on there for 30 seconds or so, give the alloys a blast off, and then we'll get cracking with the brush work and the barrel work. We're going to be using a soft bristle brush for the front facings and the easy barrel brush for the back of the barrels, ahead of giving them a thorough rinse off to completion. Cracking on now with a contact wash with a wash mitt. This wash mitt is fresh from the packet. You can use one that's fresh from the pack, or you can use a freshly washed mitt. However, I'd make sure that you change these wash mitts after about 10 different washes on rotation. They gradually tend to stiffen up and become unsafe to use. Having quickly rinsed these panels off, making sure the shampoo doesn't dry on them in the sunlight, I'm giving the wash mitt a quick rinse out, good thorough pressure wash. This is my version of a 2-bucket method. It's a far superior way of making sure your wash mitt stays clean. What's going to do more damage to this wash mitt cleaning it? Using the pressure washer right up close or rubbing it up against a plastic grit guard in a bucket. Having finished all the easy to reach areas, we're now going to work on all the hard to reach areas. Areas like the grills, the badges, the door shuts, things like that. Areas where the wash mitt's not capable of getting into. Now, unfortunately for me, Audi have gone ahead and put a gazillion different honeycomb grills on this Audi RS7. It looks fantastic being on the road, but they can make our life difficult for detailers. They do love that. I'm sure there's people sitting in a boardroom going, how can we make this as challenging as possible for people washing their cars sometimes? Working our way through the door shuts now, we're using that soft bristle brush again, which we're using with the shampoo from the bucket, getting into all those nooks and crannies. We'll give them a thorough pressure wash out, getting rid of the shampoo and any dirt that's still remaining on them, and then we'll crack on to the next stage, which is the engine bay. Getting stuck in now, dual wielding these spray bottles, as you can see, just trying to get a little bit of liquid out of them a little bit quicker and covering more areas. Ordinarily I would use super engine degreaser from Infinity Wax, but here I'm going to be using fresh interior instead. This vehicle's only got a couple of thousand miles on it. It's not too terrible in this engine bay. There's no need for any harsh chemicals or anything like that. I'm just going to be using fresh interior, diluted, I would say medium strength, sort of 100ml of product to 900ml of water. We're spraying it into every nook and cranny we can get into, not going too crazy with it down below. We're going to get into all the delicate and hard to reach areas now with this soft bristle brush. We're going to make sure that we get into all of the areas, we don't miss anything with it, and then we're going to give it a blast out with a jet wash in some areas, being careful with some of the other components of the engine we wouldn't want to see the water go into. But to be honest with you, this is a very modern engine, and modern engines typically are pretty good with water. They tend to use plugs that are all waterproof. They tend to cover things up with plastic shrouding and whatnot, as you can see here. And unless you're actually taking that jet wash right down into the bottom of that engine bay and really blasting it around everywhere for long periods of time, you'll have no drama doing so. You can also go ahead and steam clean an engine bay as well. That's also another good way to do it, obviously being careful with various things. If you're working on an older vehicle, you have to be a little bit more careful, but this is something that I'll go into a little bit more in a video in the future. Moving on to the mats now on this Audi RS7. If you haven't guessed by now, after we've laddered it down with fresh interior, she will be getting a drill brush off. We've obviously given these a blowout with a compressor first as well, which just helps loosen all the dirt and debris from these mats. At it again with these mats with a steamer. We're using the wider head just to cover a larger surface area. We don't necessarily need to use that brush that it gets down deep down into the piles of this mat. They're much easier to work on. They're obviously a lot less dirtier than the ones that were in the vans earlier on. And as you can see here from the lines that we're getting on this carpet, the results are looking quite good at this point. So we're going to carry on with the steamer. Once we've done this, we give her another little blow off and a hoover, and we'll get to Stripe City with her. You can just see me now as well spraying a little bit of air freshener on these mats to make sure they smell nice. Luckily for me on this interior, the only bit of it that was covered in dog hair was pretty much just the back of the back seats. So you can see me here using this Max Shine pet hair removal tool, which is doing an outstanding job of pulling this dog hair up. I'm literally able to pull this dog hair up afterwards and put it in my hand, which you'll see in a second. Really easy to use, cheap tool that you can purchase and does an absolute fantastic job, exactly what it's designed for. On to the penultimate part of this video now. We're blasting the granny out of those carpets, giving the plastics another little clean in them pedals, giving all the carpets a steam out, a hoover, etc, etc. You know the drill by now. Once we're finished with all of this, I'm going to show you some of the products I use, the brands I use, give you a discount code, and then we're cracking with the finishing shots. Enjoy! Going to quickly show you some of the chemicals that I use. This is Infinity Wax. These are the products that I use. Things like, you know, the IPA cleaner, leather cleanser, super degreaser for engine base, citrus pre-wash, fallout remover, it's like the liquefied tar and glue remover, Millions apple pre-wash, water spot remover, glass cleaner. I could go on forever, to be fair. These are the chemicals that I use day in, day out, 6 days a week. I've got a discount code that I'll drop down below for you to use. If you fancy using any of it, obviously give them a try. I'm sure you'll like it. I trust these guys. They're really, really, really good, to be fair. Very well priced as well. And then also the microfiber cloths that I use from Microfiber. Discount code here. Same code again. Again, really, really good quality. Lasts very well. Great in the wash. Do their job. You can actually buy them in. I'll show you in 2 seconds. You can get them in colour-coded combinations as well. So then you can use them for different purposes. Really, really good quality towels. They also do drying towels, scrub pads, you name it. But yeah, discount codes for you to use. I recommend both of these companies, just what I use myself. we'll get back to the video, we'll show you some finishing shots. Let's do it. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel so you can watch the next video, which is this Audi R8 V10 Plus. Thank you so much to Yorkshire Canine Academy. We had a really good time in the couple of days we spent up there with you guys. Absolutely exceptional behaviour shown from some of the dogs that were there on site. The owners and some of the staff members are really friendly. They really know what they're talking about when it comes to training dogs. If any of you need any help on any level, be it the basic stuff or the advanced stuff, look them up. See you in the next one, guys.